Hello friends, this is the third online practical. Name of this practical is load regulation using bridge rectifier. Here you will have only one part. You need to study only load regulation. Now, how this circuit for power supply is different from other power supply circuits. Before this, we talked about two power supplies, pipe filter, unregulated power supply, and before that Zener diode voltage regulator. In these earlier two experiments, we used full wave rectifier with only two diodes. In this experiment, the full wave rectifier is using four diodes. As you look into the circuit diagram, you will find that four PN junction semiconductor diodes are connected to form a bridge. Out of these four diodes, two diodes will work simultaneously. Two diodes opposite to each other will take care of positive cycle, and the other pair of the two remaining diodes will take care of the negative cycle. Now, the question may arise in your mind that earlier we used only two diodes. These two diodes worked as full wave rectifier. Then why we need four diodes? The reason is peak inverse voltage. When one diode is conducting, other is remaining in reverse bias, voltage coming across this diode is known as peak inverse voltage. Generally, value of peak inverse voltage is much more than the forward biased voltage. This peak inverse voltage sometimes may damage the diode in the reverse bias, and we don't want any diode to get damaged. When we use a bridge rectifier, when we use four diodes, what will happen? The peak inverse voltage, peak reverse voltage will come across two diodes in series. It will get divided into two diodes. Voltage in series gets divided, and therefore the peak reverse voltage will be shared by two diodes. As peak reverse voltage is shared by two diodes, there is no possibility of the diode in reverse bias, and therefore in this circuit we preferably used four diodes as full wave rectifier. Rest of the circuit is same. As you see inside the circuit diagram, this is the AC input voltage from the AC mains. Okay, the AC input voltage from the AC mains is connected to primary of the transformer. Here, secondary of the transformer has only two terminals. This transformer is step down transformer. The voltage coming across primary of the transformer may range from 220 volt to 240 volt. As this is step down transformer, the voltage coming at the secondary of the transformer will be much smaller. It may be 606, here in this case 06, 012 or 018, depends on the type of transformer you use. The bridge rectifier at the output will provide the DC voltage. This AC voltage will get converted to DC voltage. This DC voltage is pulsating DC voltage, impure DC voltage, and therefore here we have used one capacitor as filter. This is 1000 microfarad capacitor. This capacitor is known as input capacitor filter. This capacitor acts as short for AC components in the pulsating DC or impure DC and acts as infinite resistance or open path for DC, and therefore the impure DC coming here after rectification will be filtered by this input capacitor filter. AC components are passed to ground through this capacitor. Pure DC passes through this series resistance. This resistance is known as series current controlled resistance. Okay, the voltage coming across this is given to the Zener diode. Zener diode is acting as voltage regulator. Zener diode is always used in reverse bias. Okay, this is the cathode of Zener diode connected to positive of the DC voltage, and anode of this Zener diode is connected to ground. It is used in reverse bias. Different types of Zener diodes are fabricated to provide various amounts of constant DC voltages. It will be decided by the breakdown voltage of the Zener diode. When we apply this voltage to Zener diode, voltage coming here, whenever this voltage is smaller than the breakdown voltage of the Zener diode, there won't be any output across this variable load resistance. Zero voltage will be read in the voltmeter if Zener diode is not working. For working of Zener diode, voltage coming across the Zener diode should be more than its breakdown voltage. And whenever voltage coming here after rectification is more than breakdown voltage of the Zener diode, breakdown of Zener diode takes place, and voltage after breakdown across the Zener is always constant, and for this purpose the Zener diode is used here as voltage regulator. This is about the circuit diagram. Then let us come to the actual circuit. This is input AC voltage taken from the AC mains. Okay, then it is connected to primary as shown in the circuit diagram. It comes across the secondary. When it comes across the secondary, due to mutual induction, its value decreases. This amplitude will be very small as compared to amplitude of the AC voltage across the primary. Okay, here you will find the bridge rectifier. This diode and this diode, these two diodes which are opposite to each other, will rectify positive cycle of the AC input voltage, whereas this diode and this diode, these two diodes which are opposite to each other, will rectify the negative half cycle of the input AC voltage. So here we are getting DC voltage for positive cycle as well as for negative cycle of the input AC voltage. This is the capacitor just I told, of 1000 microfarad capacity, and its voltage capacity may be more than 25 volt. So this capacitor passes the AC components to the ground, blocks DC. This DC passes through this resistance, the series current controlling resistance. This is the Zener diode connected in reverse bias. Voltage coming here, if it is more than breakdown voltage of Zener diode, then only across this resistance box and in this voltmeter we will observe the DC output voltage. As I told at the beginning, here we have to perform only one part. Here we have to study only load regulation. Load regulation. In load regulation, what we do? We shall keep input AC voltage constant. We shall vary the value of load resistance in the output, and we shall note the voltage coming across the output, across the load resistance. So let us assume that the voltage at the primary provided by the AC mains is about 220 volt, and now let us vary the value of resistance in the load resistance. Let us first select 100 ohm in the resistance box. We are going to keep input constant. Input AC voltage is equal to 220 volt constant. First value of RL we are going to take here is 100 ohm. Okay, so key from 100 ohm is taken out and all remaining keys are closed. Now let me switch on the power supply. The value of load resistance taken out from the resistance box is 100 ohm, as you see here. Okay, and now let us have a look into the voltmeter. Before that, let us see what is the list count of the voltmeter. From 0 to 10 there are 5 divisions, and therefore value of 1 division will be 2 volt. If you have a look inside the voltmeter, you will find that the indicator is on the third division, so it gives 6 volt. When RL is 100 ohm, output voltage is 6 volt. Now let us go for second reading of RL as 200 ohm. Take out 200 ohm and plug in 100 ohm. So RL is now 200 ohm. The output is still 6 volt. Let us go for RL is equal to 300 ohm and see the output voltage. It is still 6 volt. Go for RL is equal to 400 ohm. Take out 2 keys of 200 ohm and close the 100 ohm key. We will find that the output is still 6 volt. Now go for RL is equal to 500 ohm. Close the keys of 200 ohms and take out the key of 500 ohm. You will find that the output voltage is still 6 volt. You may go for 1000 ohm and see the output. It is still 6 volt. Go for 1500 ohm. When you go to 1500 ohm, you will find that the output is still 6 volt. Go for 2000 ohm and you will find that the output shown by the voltmeter is again 6 volt. So here we have taken some 7 to 8 readings for the load regulation, and we found that the output voltage of this regulated power supply, this is bridge rectifier regulated power supply, and we find that the output voltage of this power supply is not changing at all. We have changed the values of load resistances from 100 ohm to 2000 ohm. For such a large change of value of load resistance, there is no change at all in the output voltage of this regulated power supply. It means that this regulated power supply is of better quality. Okay. To study the load regulation from the observation table, we prepared after noting the values of output parameters, we have to go for plotting the graph. Let us plot a graph taking independent variable on x-axis, dependent variable on y-axis. As we have varied load resistance RL, let us take RL as an independent variable on x-axis. Variation of RL should vary the output voltage, and therefore let us consider the output voltage on y-axis. Plot the points of the readings we noted earlier and draw a curve through these points. We will find that the output voltage of this regulated power supply is fairly constant. It is just a horizontal line. Let us try to see its value at 50 ohm. Let us close all the resistance boxes and take out 50 ohm. When we take out 50 ohm, we find that the output is about 2 volt. Okay, and if we connect these things, we will find that the output is rising slowly from RL is equal to 0 to 100 ohm. Actually, we never consider RL as 0, because if we take RL is equal to 0, that will short circuit. The short circuit may try to draw infinite current from this power supply that may damage the power supply, and therefore we never go for RL is equal to 0 ohm. Okay, we select 20 ohm, 50 ohm, etc., and we will find that output voltage of this regulated power supply changes slightly from 0 ohm to 100 ohm. Beyond 100 ohm, the output voltage is not changing at all. It is remaining constant. These characteristics, this plot that we have drawn is known as load regulation of the bridge rectifier voltage regulator circuit. Hope you got it. Thank you.